The NeoGeo AES was often thought of as the rich kid's console, with its $600 asking price at a time when most consoles were $200. Capable of arcade-perfect gameplay, as it shares parts with the MVS arcade cabinets, the console went strong for a solid decade and a half, outlasting both the 16-bit and 32-bit era consoles. Some of the games have been re-released in the form of collections and digital downloads, but now SNK has jumped on the classic system bandwagon with the release of the NeoGeo Mini. Today we look at the international version of this system. One look at the box shows that SNK is going more for an arcade cabinet look rather than the Mini AES, which makes sense since most people are more likely to remember the arcades rather than the console. Sadly, there is no real effort made to recreate the look of the MVS arcade machines fans most likely had their first NeoGeo experience on, going for instead an altered take on the Japanese candy cabs. This was a missed opportunity that needed a couple plastic color replacements to correct. The system does look good, just loses some of that nostalgia feel. The device has a 3.5-inch screen, as well as a fully functioning analog joystick and buttons, meaning you don't need to hook this up to a TV to use it. Just plug the USB cord into the power source of your choice and turn it on. The image quality on the small screen is top-notch with sharp pixels and crystal clear graphics. The speakers are powerful and clear, but you may find yourself wanting to turn the volume down a bit. If this had an internal rechargeable battery, it would be an excellent portable device. But even as it is, I could see kids or just people carpooling with you enjoying this in the passenger seat. Don't play and drive. You can connect this device to a TV using the mini HDMI port on the back. The cable, however, is sold separately, and I feel this is a big misstep on SNK's part, as many are going to want to play this on a big screen. The games do look pretty good on TV, if a little soft, and the system plays at 720p resolution, which is good, but the softening filter is going to be forever in play, and why it's there is anybody's guess. These pixels are too sharp! I think my eyes are gonna bleed. Murray, put a filter on these graphics to soften them. What? I don't care if people like sharp pixels. I won't be sued for bleeding eyes. And put one of those cell shading filters in too. People like that, right? There is an image optimization mode which adds a cell shading filter, or as some call it, the Vaseline treatment. Basically, it smears the pixels together to make the image look less blocky. It's okay, I guess, but I prefer to go without it. I only wish I could turn the softening filter off. If this filter is that much of a problem though, there are other ways to play these games like the Arcade Archives versions available on all modern consoles, which have razor-sharp pixels and even scan lines, which the Mini is sadly lacking. Filter aside, these games look beautiful. It's a true testament to how far ahead of the game NeoGeo was in the AES days. The colors are vibrant, sprites and backgrounds are highly detailed, and the animations are so fluid it's breathtaking. Gameplay is as arcade perfect as ever with tight and very responsive controls. I haven't noticed any input lag on any of the games I've played, but I have found that my hands get a little cramped playing on the system's built-in controls. Thankfully, there are controllers available for the system, but they're not included. This is another misstep, as I think including at least one controller would have made this more appealing for fans, especially given how many two-player games are here. The controllers are a nice throwback to the old NeoGeo CD controllers, but there have been changes made to them. The most notable change is that these controllers don't use micro switches in their joysticks, going for an easier to produce analog stick instead. The stick feels fine though. In fact, it might be one of the most comfortable analog sticks I have ever used. I really like it. What might be more jarring for longtime NeoGeo fans is how the button layout has changed. Every button has moved one space clockwise, which will throw memory for a loop. This is highly unfortunate. But, I haven't actually owned a NeoGeo, so this doesn't affect my experience. Another controller option has shown itself recently. Mayflash has updated the firmware of some of their controllers and adapters to work with the Mini, including the Magic NT for the Switch. This makes it possible to use properly sized arcade sticks with the Mini, and that is perfect! While the button layout is going to be the exact same as the Mini's own controllers, the experience will be far closer to arcade quality. I guess it's about time I got to the most important part of the system, the games! The NeoGeo Mini is stacked with 40 superb games, including all 6 Metal Slug titles, 5 entries into the King of Fighters series, plenty of other fighters, shooters, beat-em-ups, and action platformers. These games feature the fast and fun gameplay that made the arcade so addictive. And while part of me wishes some of the Metal Slug and King of Fighters games were replaced by others for more variety, I cannot deny there is plenty to choose from here. The games play in AES mode, with alternative game modes, difficulty select, and limited continues. It's hard to say if this is a good thing or a bad thing in the long run though, as some of these were meant to be quarter munchers. However, it does help them stand out from other options that often go into MVS mode for quick play and unlimited continues. But, this doesn't show everything, so why don't we just give you a preview of some of the games included. For just the amount of games you get on this system, the NeoGeo Mini is well worth the cost. You get 40 games that are of great quality and are still a blast to play. The lack of included controllers and a softer image on the TV may turn off the hardcore fans to it, but someone looking to experience NeoGeo games for the first time will find this setup to be a worthwhile venture. A holiday bundle with 2 controllers, an HDMI cord, and 8 extra games has been recently announced, which may bring the very best this item has to offer, but no matter which version you get, the legacy of NeoGeo lives on.